Alright guys, so today did a couple things. I made a video earlier, I haven't posted yet. I put my rear sway bar back on. I put the front one on the other day, and for me it's going to be ideal to keep my front sway bar on. The sway bars can sometimes limit the front end travel, and they also will slow it down. The last time we were out at the track was November 2017. So November 2017, we had the car out. I put a new torque converter in it. This thing was a monster with that 3500 installed. And the car was yanking the left front off the ground, but it didn't have enough momentum to keep the front end up. So my front end was coming up too fast, bottoming out on the chassis, and unloading the rear. And part of that was because, one, these tubular upper control arms that you commonly find on eBay have two different size ball joints, and they actually have two different arcs at the top. So I went to help that problem. I added 1 inch taller ball joints, and I took out the rubber snubbers in the top control arms, and I bought some from Energy Suspension that'll just shorten up my travel by maybe like 3/8 of an inch, but it won't smack the frames hard. So I went from having 3 3/4 of front end suspension travel to I have almost 6 inches now, which is ideal for these GM A bodies. So outside of that, what's left is to get shocks for the front and rear. I'm doing AFCO 80/20s in the front and Viking dual adjustables in the rear. So on to the engine. So today I thought, I'll finally install this flamethrower HEI 3 igniter module in there with a built-in rev limiter. So I go to put this on, and off the bat the car started hard. And when I was revving it up, it was doing weird things, like I had a serious hesitation to deliver spark, and then it would pop out of the car, like if it had a lean pop. Now the other thing I noticed is that my AFR went really lean with the new module. So I did retweak the carb a little bit to kind of help it, and didn't make things better. So immediately I took this back out because it's a 10-minute job. And I put the old one back in, the car went back to its regular ways. I can rev it, no problem, crack the throttle and it won't fall on its face. And then I would rev it with load in it, and the car would choke out because it wasn't going anywhere, but it wouldn't pop out of the carb like it was before. And my AFR gauge went back to normal, and I also had to reset my carb. So, moral of the story is, this didn't help. This was junk. And there was mixed reviews on this, and I figure it was about a 50-50, so it was worth the chance. There was some 50-50 on the MSD module, but at this point, you know what? I think I'm just going to upgrade to an MSD at this point because it's cheap insurance for me. As much as I don't want to, I like to eliminate electronics to eliminate problems, but I'm going to have to run an ignition box on this just for the simple fact that I really need the rev limiter. Now I am going to take the car before I install the MSD. I just got to really watch the RPMs, but it is for me, it's cheap insurance to have that rev limiter, and I really need it. I'm not necessarily worried about the extra spark, but it will be an added benefit. It will clean up the idle a bit, and it will make it burn a little bit more efficiently at that RPM range where it delivers multiple sparks. So as far as the car goes, I got a couple things to do before we can hit the track, but I'm shooting for June. I'm going to do the drive shaft, which I'm going to order next week, and I'm going to change the water pump because this one doesn't flow enough. This is an open impeller water pump. The closed impeller water pump I let go with the old engine I sold, and I regret it because that water pump actually flows a lot better. This water pump runs about 20 degrees hotter than I'd like to for the temperature. The other day I had it out on a 78-degree day, and it wasn't overheating, but it was just running hotter than I'd like it. On a 75-degree day, this thing shouldn't be at, it shouldn't be hitting close to 200. It should be at 180, 190 tops. So I need it to be running a little cooler for my liking. So I'm going to order the flow cooler, closed impeller water pump, and then I'm going to upgrade the alternator too, because with the electronics that I currently have, and I'm going to be going to an MSD, I'm going to need an alternator to deliver more amperage. So I'm going to go to the PowerMaster 150 amp alternator, and hopefully things are good. And that's about it. Hopefully once those things are done, hopefully sometime early June, we'll be able to hit the track. I'm going to order my parts tonight. So hopefully in the next week I'll be able to take care of all of that. And my drive shaft I'll get the same day if I call and order it in the morning. Awesome local shop. you know, for $375, I'm gonna get a bulletproof. I'm still gonna run a steel drive shaft, but it's gonna be bulletproof, and the price is just right. So guys, that's what I got going on this. So now on the engine that I've posted on the Instagrams and whatnots, I've had this engine running. Don't remember if I posted it to YouTube, but this engine is a runner. And all that's left now is to swap the cylinder heads. The intake, we're going to put a comp 260H cam in there. This thing should be around 901 compression with the combination of stock components like the early 7A heads with the later block and the smaller ditch pistons. So hopefully I'll be seeing parts. Oh, radiator still peeing. But hopefully in the next couple of days I'll get together with the owner of the engine, Eric, and hopefully next week I'll have it disassembled. We're going to put it together as a collaborative effort. He wants to be more hands-on and learn, and we're going to put this thing together, get it ready. We're going to put it in his car. We're going to break it in his car. I prefer to break the engines in the car than out of the car, just for the simple fact that if things go wrong, you have the fenders and stuff between you and the engine. And I've never had issues breaking engines in cars, and I've never had massive leaks to the point where I don't feel confident with my work. Can't say it hasn't happened, but you know what? The engine in the olds, I had a leak that didn't develop until after I had it in the car. So it's not always it's not gonna leak. It can develop it down the road. But either way, this engine's gonna get put together hopefully next weekend, and he'll put it in, and then after that we'll break it in and we'll see how well it does. So guys, that's my little update today. I did post some pictures up on Instagram. On there is copper cutlass of what I had going on today, and then you guys can follow us on Facebook at Copper's Garage, and of course if you're watching this on YouTube, the page is also Copper Cutlass. So guys, thank you for watching, thank you for following, subscribe, like, share. Thanks.